You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, y'all, the March 10th primary push Vice President Joe Biden closer to the Democratic nomination. On the other hand, Senator Bernie Sanders, lost Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, and Idaho, and Washington State, a state where, first of all, he won North Dakota, but Washington State, where he beat Clinton by 40 points. By 40 points in 2016, he's only up 0.2% against Biden, with 67.5% of the vote in. Well, he did not speak last night, but today he held a news conference where many assumed he would bow out. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, because that was not going to happen. Sanders made it clear, I'm still in this thing.
Let me begin by reiterating what I have said from day one of this campaign, and that is that Donald Trump is the most dangerous president in the modern history of our country, and he must be defeated. Tragically, we have a president today who is a pathological liar and who is running a corrupt administration. He clearly does not understand the Constitution of the United States and thinks that he is a president who is above the law. In my view, he is a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, a xenophobe, and a religious bigot, and he must be defeated, and I will do everything in my power to make that happen. Last night, obviously, was not a good night for our campaign from a delegate point of view. We lost in the largest state up for grabs yesterday, the state of Michigan. We lost in Mississippi, Missouri, and Idaho. On the other hand, we won in North Dakota, and we lead the vote count in the state of Washington, the second largest state contested yesterday, with 67% of the votes having been counted. We are a few thousand votes on top. What became even more apparent yesterday is that while we are currently losing the delegate count, approximately 800 delegates for Joe Biden and 660 for us, we are strongly winning in two enormously important areas which will determine the future of our country. Poll after poll, including exit polls, show that a strong majority of the American people support our progressive agenda. The American people are deeply concerned about the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality in this country, and the American people want the wealthy and large profitable corporations to start paying their fair share of taxes. Overwhelming support for that. The American people understand that the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour is a starvation wage. They want to raise the minimum wage in this country to a living wage of at least $15 an hour. And the American people understand that if our kids are going to make it into the middle class of this country, we must make public colleges and universities and trade schools tuition free. The American people understand that we cannot continue a cruel and dysfunctional healthcare system. And it is amazing to me to see that even in conservative states like Mississippi, there is an overwhelming understanding that we are now spending twice as much per capita on healthcare as do the people of any other country, while 87 million of us remain uninsured or underinsured. And this crisis, this absurd healthcare system, is becoming more and more obvious to the American people as we face the challenge of the coronavirus pandemic that we are currently experiencing. Imagine facing a pandemic and having 87 million people who are having a difficult time going to a doctor when they need.
All right, folks, let's talk about this here, okay? So, Lawrence, Sanders says, look, if you look at the polls where people are on these issues, but they're not voting for him. And so you break this thing. It's just and again, and what you have is, and somebody has to say it, and I ain't scared of none of y'all, okay? But the Bernie supporters, the folks who are losing their mind right now on YouTube, who are on Twitter, and who, oh, Biden's a sellout, he ain't done this, he ain't done that. This is very simple. If you run it against somebody, it's my ideas against your ideas. Whoever gets the most vote wins.
Yeah. Well,
and then you have these progressives who are saying, I'll play in a second, Crystal Ball, one of them. I'll play what she had to say. And I said this. Maybe the progressives need to understand that there are actually more people who are not progressive than them.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a ceiling. Sanders clearly has a ceiling. He hit that ceiling. He actually hit it with Hillary Clinton as well, who I thought was not as good a candidate as Joe Biden. Okay, and not as compelling a candidate as Joe Biden, because I think Biden is likely to attract more voters than she will for a lot of reasons. One, unfortunately, of which is she's female. But at any rate, one of the things I think the Sanders supporters have a little trouble figuring out is that, in fact, that ceiling is real. It shows itself every time we have voters competing. I mean, these candidates competing for votes. Now that we don't have as many candidates in the field, and it's effectively Bernie Sanders versus Joe Biden, that's when you really see it, okay? So his numbers are not as good as they were against Hillary Clinton. We just saw that in Michigan last night. And he's not doing as well as he was, for whatever reason. And I think, frankly, and we've seen this in Kentucky and in Virginia and Alabama, people are laser focused. People, meaning Team Blue, is laser focused in getting Donald Trump out of office, okay? You probably could put almost any Democrat up there, but not any Democrat, because Sanders is not that Democrat. There is I think
He's not a Democrat at all.
Well, yeah,
He's a
whatever.
Democratic socialist when it's convenient to run for president.
The point is, if he did get the Democratic nomination, he effectively would be a Democrat, because he would be the Democratic nominee. I mean, I get it. I get it. But he's not going to be the Democratic nominee. No. It's going to be Joe Biden. And that's what's going to happen. So, I mean, the point is, he doesn't have enough votes. I get what their arguments are. And actually, I think the Sanders people have a lot of good points.
They're not viable arguments.
They're talking, I don't know that they're not viable.
Elections is about one thing. Can you get one more vote than the next guy?
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
You can't buy votes.
Absolutely.
You can't steal votes. At least arguably, you can't steal votes.
They're doing a bigger thing. Their bigger thing is they want to talk about poverty and income inequality in a way that Biden won't talk about that.
I agree.
I agree. But at the end of the day, when those two names appear on the ballot, Trump, Biden, that's what this is going to be about. And
it's
so
a popularity contest,
this idea that Biden can't win is nonsense.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, so a lot of y'all are always asking me about some of the pocket squares that I wear. Now, Robert don't have one on. Nope. Now, I don't particularly like the white pocket squares. I don't like even the silk ones. And so I was reading GQ magazine a number of years ago, and I saw this guy who had this pocket square here, and it looks like a flower. This is called a shibori pocket square. This is how the Japanese manipulate the fabric to create this sort of flower effect. So I'm going to take it out and then place it in my hand so you see what it looks like. And I said, man, this is pretty cool. And so I tracked down, it took me a year to find a company that did it. And so they make these about 47 different colors. And so I love them because, again, as men, we don't have many accessories to wear, so we don't have many options. And so this is really a pretty cool pocket square. Now, what I love about this here is you saw when it's in the pocket, you know, it gives you that flower effect like that. But if I wanted to also, unlike because if I flip it and turn it over, it actually gives me a different type of texture. And so therefore it gives me a different look. So there you go. So if you actually want to get one of these shibori pocket squares, we have them in 47 different colors. All you got to do is go to RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. All right, so first of all, that graphic is way too small. So tomorrow we're going to run it right down here all across the screen. So it's RolandSMartin.com/pocket squares. All you got to do is go to my website and you can actually get this. Now, for those of you who are members of our Bring the Funk fan club, there's a discount for you to to get our pocket squares. That's why you also got to be a part of our Bring the Funk fan club. And so that's what we want you to do. And so it's pretty cool. So if you want to jazz your look up, you can do that. In addition, y'all see me with some of the feather pocket squares. My sister, who's a designer, she actually makes these. They're all custom made. So when you also go to the website, you can also order one of the customized feather pocket squares right there at rolandsmartin.com/pocket squares. So please do so. And of course, that goes to support the show. And again, if you're a Bring the Funk fan club member, you get a discount. This is why you should join the fan club. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.